I don't like being Walmart's enforcer for $32.40. Walmart has made a business decision to use these self scanners rather than have checkout staff.
Hey there, welcome to the Courtroom Files. So today, Judge Middleton expresses the frustration that I think every American has at this point, and that is the pervasive nature of the self-checkout, and no place is it worse than at Walmart, where it's impossible at this point to get an actual human being to help you check out your purchases. You have to do it yourself. And he's frustrated from a different standpoint because if somebody doesn't do it right, they end up in his courtroom, as he pointed out in the intro, over like $30, and it takes up the court's time and money and resources and everything else to be, as he puts it, Walmart's enforcer. This one hits close to home for us as well because Mrs. the Courtroom Files and I spent a lot of years in the corporate world, and the one thing they always preach is that the most controllable line on your P&L is people, so you can always cut down on labor. But nobody ever looks at the lasting impact of that when it happens. You know, the loss of service, the loss of connection with your customers, things like that. And it's sad. And we, personally, we avoid Walmart if unless there's absolutely something we have to have and only Walmart has it, we'll find another place to go because it's just frustrating as all get out to actually transact business there. But that's just our opinion. Let us know what you think of this interaction in the comments. Did the judge get this right in how this turned out for this particular defendant? And what do you think of Walmart's self-scanning system? Are you a fan, or like Judge Middleton, have you kind of had enough of it? So let us know. Put a thumbs up on the video if you enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and let's roll the game film.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Find the complaint. This is a formal misdemeanor complaint alleging that on June 20th of 24, you did a retail fraud at the Walmart store in Three Rivers. And they call it skip scanning. I'm not a big fan of this charge. I rant against it about once a week. Anyway, the way it's charged here under city ordinance, it's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. It's alleged that you were in the checkout lane and you failed to pay for $32.04 worth of merchandise. Good morning, Mr. Moore. If I can find the city attorney, I will see if they would turn this into a civil infraction. I don't like being Walmart's enforcer for $32.40. Walmart has made a business decision to use these self-scanners rather than have checkout staff. And it encourages this sort of thing. This crime didn't exist a few years ago. Now we get a ton of them. So for $32.40, the Three Rivers Police Department has to go out there, respond to this complaint at the cost of the taxpayers, prepare a report, send it to the prosecutor, ask the prosecutor to do a complaint, and have you come to court and take up my time. If there was a checkout person there, none of this would have happened, but they made a decision that I guess it's more profitable to have some theft, particularly if all this part of it isn't on their dime, but on the taxpayer's dime. So why don't you have a seat, Ms. Harbin? We'll see if we can find the city attorney and see what he's willing to do with this. The city does have what's called a civil infraction, and a civil infraction is not a crime. It is punishable by a fine only, and the normal fine is $100. If you have a seat, and we'll come back to this in a minute.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Tim, while you were out, the bailiff will take you out there. We dealt with Regina Harbin. Can you come back? Where she is. This is a skip scan from Walmart. You know what a fan of those. For $32, as far as I can tell, the defendant doesn't have anything. I didn't know if this is the kind of case you would take a civil infraction on.
Yes, Your Honor. If you have a good explanation, you'll have it. I don't know.
All right. Ms. Harbin, are you willing to admit to the civil infraction of retail fraud for this incident?
So in talking with the public attorney here, so he's explained what my rights are. I could say guilty and get it over with, which I would like to just get it over with.
Guilt,
but I
this
don't.
isn't guilty.
You just admit fault.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Because it's not a misdemeanor. So with a civil infraction, you either admit or deny. You could also plead no contest, saying I don't admit what happened, but I also don't deny what happened. And I would allow or accept that the conviction enter. I'm going to give you a $100 fine if you do admit to this.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'd rather get it over with, even though I could say no and give an explanation at a later time, but.
Well, tell me what your explanation is. You had a retail fraud about 20 years ago or more, but nothing of this nature since, just some traffic stuff.
Yeah, it truly was an accident. And I remember the day because it was 2 weeks after my sister died, and which happened right after my mother died. So I had been experiencing anxiety, panic attacks. So I was shopping just in a hurry to get out, holding more than one item in each hand and just scanning. So the correct number of items were scanned, but some scanned more than once, some not scanned at all. That's how they came up with $32. But the correct number of items were in the bag. But all I know is I was just trying to get out of there. I was having a panic attack. I was under a lot of duress, stress with the death of my sister just happening, a tragic death at that. So there was no intent. And in the 20 years since I've seen you last, I have not been in any trouble. I would have taken care of it as soon as I knew about the warrant. But I checked with the Three Rivers Police Station on a couple of occasions. It hadn't gone through, within a month. I hadn't heard anything. So I just thought it was done and over with. As soon as I found out about it, I went to the jail, paid my bond, and here I am today. So, yeah.
So are you willing to plead no contest to the civil infraction?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, they have very high definition cameras. I just reviewed one yesterday. They had about 20 shots of the lady in the store. And you can watch the video. I haven't watched this video, but clearly see what's going on. We had a lady once, this was a thing, they would take an inexpensive item like a pack of Kool-Aid and hold it under an expensive item like a prime rib and scan a $40 prime rib for $1.19. And you could see it. And so I'm not sure what happened here, but you're willing to admit no contest, so I'm gonna accept your plea.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I haven't seen you in 20 years, so what have you been, what do you do now?
I'm on disability, but I do some volunteering at the church. I help out a friend, you know, with their restaurant occasionally when they need it. I have some surgeries coming up, and then I plan to get out and get a real job again. I hope to be employed again, but disability is where I'm at right now.
Okay. Well, you paid a $50 fine, bond.
Yes.
The total fine is $100. $50 bond is applied. By $50 bond, defendant owes $50 by February 7th. Now, again, this is a civil infraction, not a misdemeanor. And you admitted by no contest. And the report indicates enough factual basis for this charge. All right, Ms. Harbin, you're good to go.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, do please take a moment to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on the video. We'd really appreciate that. And if you want to keep the fun going, check out the video on the screen right now.